People deluded a quick one. Now we've been linked with Andre Gomes, 18 million. Allegedly, Unai wanted him in the summer. Apparently Sanye is on it as well. Now make of it what you will. Gomes is technically a Barcelona player. I believe he's on loan from Barca. Sanye's worked for Barcelona before. Read between the lines. I support the move, to be honest. I know a lot of people see Andre Gomes and think, nah, he didn't quite hit the heights at Barcelona and whatnot. And that might be true. But if you've been watching him this season, at least the last few months, I think he's really found a purple patch and really done his thing for Everton, and he's been in decent form. Is he the most innovative of players? Of course not. Is he the most eye-catching of players? Of course not. Is he probably your first target? Of course not. But for me, 18 million in regards to our budget, which the latest link has been 45, that could help him. We always talk about that could help us save money. Apologies. We always talk about Unai and his own players and his own players, and he needs his own players. But I feel fans, when it comes to that own player stuff, it's subjective, because people only want to say he's only allowed his own players if they personally rate that player. Do you get it, people? Apparently, I just said Unai is an admirer of Gomes and wanted him. Whether you rate him or not, these same people that cry Unai needs his own players, surely that's one of his own players. So if he wants him and he believes he can do well with him, like he thought with allegedly Dennis Suarez and Lichtsteiner, then let him do his thing, people. I think he gonna be a quality player? No, but he could complement the squad well. He's got things that are missing in the squad. I mean, he bossed our midfield against Everton. He's a good carrier of a ball. Obviously, Gomes is a very technical midfielder, decent passing range, fairly good on the age side, so there's a bit of longevity there. Not sure if he speaks Spanish and whatnot, but Portuguese and Spanish is very similar in terms of culture, so he probably gets Unai and things like that. Not of course with his fellow countryman Marco Silva, but you get where I'm going with that. The biggest factor is that Unai allegedly wants him, so if he wants him, he's more inclined to get the best out of him and utilise him in the best way. Obviously, he can do the box to box, he can do the deep line, and whatever you think of him or his ability or lack of ability, if that's a stupid opinion, but if you think that, he could address some areas that are missing. He can give us something. I said myself, I think we need someone who can do what Gomes has in terms of skill set, and I believe we need someone, ideally a hybrid, someone that can do that but also break down play like Torreira. So there's two cases of a midfielder, to which Gomes ticks the box for one. I'd support the move for Gomes. 18 million, it's a cut price. I think he's a decent player. Do I think he's going to give us goals and assists and make the difference? No, but I think he's someone that can stand up to be counted and assist players in doing that. And if Unai truly wants him and truly believes in him, then I'm all for Unai having his own players, because that's what people always sit here and say. He needs his own players, he needs time. This is one of his players, allegedly. 18 million. Now it's complicated because he's had a good time at Everton. Does he want to stay permanently at Everton? Now, if we were Arsenal about 10 years ago, and even though we didn't do nothing serious in the Champions League, but we could offer without a doubt Champions League, that would be a factor. But maybe there's clubs abroad that can offer him Champions League football and competitive wages. I think we can offer him a good wage, of course. But in terms of competitiveness, does he deem that he wants another adventure away from the club? I know Barcelona probably need to raise funds, so you're looking at him, maybe Umtiti and a couple other players that could be left to raise funds to allow them to do other stuff or just clear the squad, cleanse the squad better yet. But we'll have to see. For what it's worth, I did see this link on ESPN. I don't know if they're the most creditable of sources, and it's not just them, but that's the one I came across. Came across it on the usual Arsenal Twitter accounts. So we'll see how that one personally develops, people. In my opinion, we'll just have to see for that one there, man. I ain't got nothing else to say, but you look at players like him. You look at, I made a vid before Ruben Neves went for Wolves. These are the sort of players you need to go for. I was speaking about Bruno Fernandes last year technically, or what, when he played at the World Cup and things, because I had a Portuguese friend that kind of plugged me with him, and now you're seeing he's turned into a goal scoring midfielder and he's out of our range. We've got to move quickly or we find ourselves faced with danger. People will say Gomes is an underwhelming talent, and of course as fans you want world-class players that when they're linked with you or you see the yellow bar on Sky Sports, you're like, wow, it's mad, like we linked with them. But at the end of the day, if Gomes is consistent and competent and can add something that we're lacking, I'm all for it. If Unai truly wants him and really did want this player last season, then I'm supporting the decision to go for him. Only 18 million as well. It's not the most expensive. So you're looking at players like him for 18. you lot know I have an agenda with Brandt, for example, 24 million. We've got to kind of look at these deals, or deals that can be done in and around Europe and abroad and elsewhere sort of thing, people. But that's all I wanted to say, to be honest with you, people, in regards to Gomes, man. That's all I wanted to say. In fact, I was going to put this in a separate vid, but I'll just do it now. I don't know, I was thinking about it, man. I know every time we lose away from home, we've got XYZ player talking about it, saying we know what we need to do. We think it's a mental thing in regards to our away form. But I do still think it's a mental thing away from home. But at the same time, I just think, I'm starting to think it's not, people. I just think that we're just too, sometimes I can't find the word for it, but I just don't think we're on it. I just don't think these guys have it in them. And I don't understand it, because you've got players that have fled, or their parents have fled from war-torn countries. They've dealt with adversity in society. Players that have played in many a hostile environment before they've come to Arsenal. So what's a game of football away from home in England if you've been in some more hostile environments? And time again, we've shown we can't do it. Doesn't matter if it's Everton away, Wolves away, Palace to a degree away, just anyone who wants to shout and sing and dance as fans, we have an issue. And I just feel the players, as much as I love these players generally, I just don't think they have it in them. I'm starting to think it's not a mental thing, it's not the normal things. I just feel I don't know, I just don't think we have the fight. No one has the fight in them. I've come to accept that. Whenever the back's against the wall and we're faced with real adversity, there's moments we've done well, but 9 times out of 10 we get caught with our pants down and we fail to fight and get out of these situations. You look at Wolves, just damn right playing for the manager and being galvanised as to why they beat us. That's why Watford are also 7th. That's why Everton beat us. That's why we get stressed against these sort of sides, people. We're good in periods, but we don't fancy it. We don't fancy it unless you're going to come sit back and allow us to play in front of you and pick us off. We can't fight. We can't fight. And that doesn't mean flying into 10 tackles and getting red cards, people. That doesn't mean it. It just means to realise when certain things aren't working, to realise our backs are against the wall, to realise that we need to sit in and soak up pressure. We've shown time and time again, in my humble opinion, we can't do it, people. Like, we can't do it. And that pains to say. I just say, you just have to accept now that we are what we are, and these players just can't do it. They are what they are. There's no point sitting there and thinking, where's their fight gone, and etc. They just ain't got it. Like, I deeped it, man, people. I've really deeped it. I've been deeping it the last couple of nights. Like, it's just not there. Will it ever come back? I'm not sure. I don't think. I hope he can, but I think it's actually something Unai can't introduce into you. He can teach you tactics where you should be. He can make you believe in yourself, but you have to go out there and show fight. He can give you all the tactics, but at the end of the day, it's your legs and toes that are out there doing the business in the football pitch. And I just don't feel we have it in us, man. I just feel it is what it is. It is what it is, man. Even the players are saying they don't know. I mean, it's nice to see soccer artists again coming out and speaking the truth and saying we need to take 9 points and we'll see what happens. It's not in our hands, but it was in our hands. And yes, we can say it will be a good season regardless, because nobody thought we'd get top 4. So to still be in a shout in April was good for us. But in terms of just away from league titles and all these things, from having a goal and something to work to. Do you get what I'm saying? We found ourselves in this position. We had something to work to. Top 4. Let's work towards it. And we fumbled it. That shows me you can't do anything serious, really, because it doesn't matter if you're fighting relegation, targeting mid-table, further places in Europe, whether that's Champions League or Europa, or winning the domestic league title. Your team has to be able to see a goal in end sight and be able to get there, or be able to put a sustained challenge there. We've shown we can't. We showed in March little purple patches of getting into form, and reality is struck in April. We've dropped 9 points. If we get top 4, it's no word of a miracle. And no word short of a miracle. And I hope to God I'm wrong, people. But I think top 4 is gone. Yes, people can show me mathematically it's still possible, and they can be optimistic as hell as much as they want in regards to our running. But it's a tough ask. Personally, I think Man United are going to beat Chelsea on the weekend. I hope to God to be wrong. The best result for that is a draw, but I don't think that's got a draw on them. Someone's going to win that game. It's out of our hands. Personally, I think Spurs and Chelsea are going to get it now, and Arsenal, no fault of our own, because we could have been 5 clear at point of United, and we could have locked down top 4. So it's our fault. We have fumbled it, to be fair with you. There's nothing we can say. Spurs fumbled it at a period and brought themselves into the 3rd and 4th race. The difference with them, whether it's Europe or the league, whether Kane or whoever is playing or injuries, they know how to fight. And again, of course it pains to say that about Spurs, but you know I'm a fair man. Spurs fans for years, they had to sit and take this nonsense that Arsenal fans did. So that's how football works. They have fight. and we find ourselves in a position where Liverpool could win the league title, Spurs could get to the Champions League final or even win it. Fingers crossed Messi makes sure that don't. But imagine the Spurs Champions League final or winning. Liverpool could actually be Champions League and win the league. But let's just say Liverpool win league, Spurs Champions League final, Chelsea and Spurs top 4, United somehow, or even United get top 4, Chelsea win Champions League to get Europe, and then there's just us out of it, people. Do you get it? We'll only have ourselves to blame, and all them fans would be entitled to run bants at ourselves. Honestly, I know these lads are professional footballers, and I know these footballers at Arsenal care. I don't think it's a lack of caring or a lack of necessary application. I just feel they really need to have a long, hard look in the mirror and assess what they want to do, because some of them, their careers haven't got much years left. Some of these young players, if they continue the way they're going, they're going to get a reality check. Some of the middle-aged players, there's a lack of consistency game to game. And I feel everybody has to honestly look themselves in the mirror. We don't win, lose or draw individually, so it's a collective thing. But I think that a lot of soul-searching has to be done. That's just my personal opinion. On that note, though, I'm going to keep it moving. People, stay safe. Deluded. I'm out.